table d'arbitre. Avec le clair.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last and a very furious final here of this World Cup 2022 Châteauroux WSPS. We will hold the R5 Mixed Semi-Air Rifle Prone event SH2. And the first command comes from Christian.
Athletes to the line.
We call up position H. With a big applause, here is, representing Great Britain, and the coach, Steve Pengelly, Tim Jeffrey. Position G. She is representing Switzerland, and her coach, Walter Berger. Here is Nicole Housler. Position F. He's representing Serbia with his coach Vladimir Pajic. Here is Dragan Ristic. Position E. Take care for your ears because this man is representing France. The coach, Batu, Toby Delafouet. And it will go on. Position D. Take care, it goes on. He's representing Turkey. The coach, Kadri Akın. Here's Hakan Çeviç. Position C. And all together because he has not so much fans. C, come on. All together, he comes from Brazil. With his coach, James Lowry, Alexandre Auguste Gargani. Position B. Let's go on with the party. She's representing Japan. The coach, Teremi Visita, and here is Mika Mizuta. Position A is representing Italy. With the coach, Giuseppe Verani, Andrea Liberani. A little pause for the jury member in charge of this final. A big applause for Serge Sprock, France. And now all together for our Chief Range Officer who gives the commands, Christian Bailly, France. So here we get ready now for the first command. And you please go on in there. That is great. Thank you.
Take your positions.
Good afternoon, welcome to this final mixed 10 meters air rifle prone SH2. And this is the last final of this competition here in Châteauroux, France. And we have a lot of audience right now, and this is an SH2 event, which means that the athletes have support to hold the rifle, and some of them have an assistant to load the rifle as well. So the athletes has just been introduced, and there were some really high scores during the 2 qualification rounds early this morning. And the best top 8 of these 2 qualification rounds end up in the final. So they are just presented, and there are some athletes with a lot of experience, and also 2 with new in this field. So we're going to see what's going to happen during this final. The final consists of 2 times 5 shots in a series, and then after the 2 series we continue with shot by shot. And all the series and the shot by shot are shot under command of the CRO. You see the audience already cheering for their favorite athlete. At the meantime, they are preparing themselves to get in position towards the target, and in a few moments we will have the official preparation and qualification and sighting time. In this period, the athlete is preparing himself for the last things, checking if he's in the right position. Does he feel comfortable? Is everything in the right spot that he can get his pellets, etc. And then we will continue with the first final series of 5 shots. So at position A we see the athlete from Italy, Liverani. At position B it is Mimutsa from Japan. C is Galgani from Brazil. Position D we have from Turkey Sevic. And E we have from France De La Forest. On F is Ricic from Serbia. On position G it's Nicole Housler from Switzerland, and on position H it's Tim Jeffrey from Great Britain.
5 minutes preparation and sighting time. Start.
So now we have 5 minutes where the athlete can prepare himself for the final shots. So he will fire some shots, check if what he has seen as what he thought he's going to shoot, and the result compare. It's equal, then he is in the right position. If there is a difference, then he needs to make some small changes to get in the right position. This field of athletes, the differences are very minimum, so I expect that we're going to see a very interesting final with high scores and small differences. So the best in this 8 shot 638.8, and the lowest was 633.8, so there's only a 5-point difference, and 5 points can mean a lot, but can also be small compared to the shots, because if you make a failure you shoot a 0, or if you are too late you also be counted as a 0. So you see the athlete is using the support, so the weight of the rifle is taken away. He can, due to the spring, you see that it is movable, so he can get it in the right position for his eye, so he can see the sights the right way. So it's not allowed to push it forwards or backwards, but sideways it's allowed. Now all the equipment has been checked before the final. There's a final check just at the reporting area where the athletes come together half an hour for the final, and that is done by equipment control team. So they are backstage, but they have a big important job during this final. Okay, it's very obvious what kind of colors he likes.
And on position D, qualification score 638.8. The third placed from the World Cup Under 21.
So he's taking all the time to get in the right position. Now she starts aiming.
Professional shooter, and his name is
Okay.
Position C with a qualification score.
So sometimes there is an adoption on the trigger. If the athlete is not able to use the standard trigger, then in line with classification rules, he is allowed to have an extension, which is also limited to several rules, and then he still can compete in this SH2 event.
This is Alexander August Carabine.
We have 1:30 still to go before the end of the preparation and sighting time. 30 seconds before stop, the CRO will command 30 seconds, then every athlete knows that it's time to stop practicing, make the last adjustments and be ready for the first final series.
Position A, 637.8 points. A qualification score of this Italian athlete.
The last adjustments be made. You see that Laforest used the bending of the spring. He's hanging actually into it. But he feels comfortable. He can shoot high score, so why not? Other athletes,
30 seconds.
30 seconds signal is given. Other athletes prefer to keep the rifle in the middle of the center of the spring. All athletes have their own way of shooting SH2 events.
So let's get ready for the next command.
The prone event means that if they're able, they must have 2 elbows on the table in front of them.
Stop and load.
If they cannot put the non-shooting arm or hand on the rifle, it's allowed to put it on the body or
For
on
the
the table.
first competition series, load.
So now we started with the first series of 5 shots. We have 2 minutes 30 seconds. Let's see what's going to happen. So on average that's 30 seconds per shot. So if you compare it to SH1 or SSF events, it's a similar time frame. And we first see the first results, and 10.6, 10.5, 10.7, 10.8, 10.6, 10.2, 10.7, 10.5. So they're all in the 10 range. And you see that the difference is only 1 or 2/10 of a point. The high score is 10.9, so let's see if they're able to shoot that under the conditions that are in the final with a little more stress and pressure. Most of them have managed to take 2 or 3 shots right now, and all in the 10 series. 10.8 again, double 10.8. So that means that we're watching 2 high-class athletes who are capable of shooting high points. And then Jeffrey, 10.7. Nicole, she shoots at 10.5. And Dragan Ristic is at 10.7. The first 10.5. Kancevic, 10.3. And it's 10.6. And we see Mika shooting 10.4. And Nigarani 10.4. So, yeah, the differences are very small, and at the moment in the lead, shared with Ristic, is Nicolo with a score of 52.9. Third position is still by Tim Jeffrey with 0.1 difference.
All athletes 52. The difference is only 10 between 3 and.
So you see that the differences are very small. So between 1 and 8, we have only a 0.5 difference. So everything still can happen. If you make the smallest mistake in this event, you can drop very rapidly from position 2, 3 to 8 or vice versa. Let's see what's going to happen.
Stop.
So now we start with the second series of 5 shots. It's important that the athletes stay in the 10 range. If you make a mistake and shoot a 9 or a high 9, then you know that you almost lost 1 point. And there is more than the difference between 8 and number 1. So you see already there's a change in the top 1. We see 10.6, 10.5, 10.8. It's really amazing. 10.7. Now it's really high score in the 10. So even if you shoot a low 10, then you can get a low score and a low ranking in this event. And you hear the public is very enthusiastic. They follow shot by shot their favorite athlete and see if he goes up one rank or is dropped 1 ranked. It's really dynamic what's going on right now. Liverani is now in the lead with 95.4, but that can change very rapidly. So in a few seconds, I think we are done with the second series of 5 shots. And we see still high scores within the 10 range. And Liverani is already ready with an average score of 53, which is higher than his first 5 shots. And let's see what is going on with the rest of the field. The one behind with a score of 105.8, 0.1 dot difference with Jeffrey.
Stop.
Oh, it's 1 point in front of him.
The second 5-shot series, the scoreboard mixed up completely. Now in the lead.
So now we see more difference between the top 1, 2 and 3 with the rest of the field. But still 1.5 difference between 1 and 8 is very narrow variation. So everything can happen, but now within the coming 2 shots, the first elimination will be announced, and we will see who's going to be the head person, because everything can happen. I cannot predict who is going to be eliminated at position 8, which is still a very good result here in this amazing World Cup here in Châteauroux, France. So the athlete from Brazil in position 8, he needs to shoot 2 high 10s to stay in the final. So the first shot's fired, 10.5, 10.7, 10.8. So that maybe is enough to stay in or to make the difference between the successor. We see we have a equal score on position 6. So actually 3 athletes are really now close to elimination. Hakan Sevic from Turkey, Galgani from Brazil, and Mizuta from Japan. And the difference between position 1 and 2 is 0.5 points. So Great Britain is in the lead, Serbia second, Italy is third.
Stop.
So can he make a high score higher than the other 2 athletes that are from the club? Akacevic at 10.2. Is it enough? Because he's still able to do lose. We have a result. First final elimination is effect. And Hakan Sevic from Turkey is eliminated with a score of 125.4. You see that everything can happen. If you think that you're comfortable at position 6, next moment you're out. Because your competitors are very tough, and it was a very good competition till now. So let's see if they can continue these high scores in the 10s. And you can see the 10 scores are more than 50. That means that average they shoot 10.x, and that is very high. So now we have 2 coming shots for the elimination of position 7. And I think De La Forest, Mizuta and Galgani are at risk. And even Andrea Liverani can be in problems. Because there's 1 point difference between 3 and 7. You always know they make some noise to support their athlete, and it's not easy if you are on the firing line hearing people clapping. You need to concentrate yourself on your best shot. And we have the first results: 10.5, 10.4, 10.5, 10.4, 10.8. So 10.5 shooting at this point, so the difference between position 1 and 2 is getting smaller. And also Liverani from Italy is coming close with a difference of 0.4 points.
For the next competition shot, load.
So the next shot will decide who will be eliminated at position 7. Let's see what's going to happen.
Stop.
So the audience is clapping and making noise. The time is running down. We have 20 seconds to go. So De La Forest at 10.6. Mizuta 10.1. Is that enough?
Stop.
Galgani 10.3. And that was not enough. So he has to say goodbye with a score of 146.3. He's eliminated at position 7, which is still a very good achievement. So with these small tolerances between the athletes, it's actually a strategy to stay in the final and keep your best shots for the last 3 positions. Now that's not always easy and not possible, but some athletes they can. Actually what they do, they take a little bit more time for aiming. It can be a benefit, also it can be a risk. It depends how tired are you and confident about your
For the
position.
next competition shot, load.
So now we are again on the first shot. Number 15.
Stop.
This is Nicole Housler. She uses an eye blinder, and both eyes are open. One is blocked, the other she uses for aiming. You see, she takes time, 10 seconds, and she shot at 10.6.
Stop.
Which is, compared to the other two athletes with a 10.6, a very good score, but Dragan Restic, he shots at 10.7, so he keeps in track with Tim Jeffrey, only a difference of 0.1 point, and the difference between Dragan and Andre is 0.6, and then followed by Nicole with a difference of 0.3 points.
Low.
And if you imagine that the 10.9 is the highest, so if you shoot 10.3, that the differences are very, very small. So now, in position 5 and 6 is Della Forest and Michuta from Japan. Let's see who stays in, has the best nerve and the best score. Della Forest opens with a 10.7, and Mika Michuta is going for probably high score, 10.6, and that is not enough to stay in the final. She is eliminated at position 6 with a score of 167.4. So she put in the safety line, so that means that the rifle is safe when you put it on the table, and then she leaves the firing line. And the zero will command for the next two shots.
Nicole Housler the fourth, advantage is 0.4. She wants to get the advantage from Andrea Leverani, 0.5. Don't go behind.
So we see the results and the differences. The differences are a little bit higher now, because we start with differences of 0.1 or 2. Now it's up to 6, 5, 4. But the two first, Great Britain and Serbia, are still in the lead with the same score of 169.4.
Stop.
Now the audience is supporting, I suppose, Della Forest to stay in the final, but that needs a good and high score. Della Forest at 10.6.
Stop.
Nicole Housler made a 10.7, Livrani 10.7, Ristic 10.6, and Jeffrey 10.6. So there's only 0.1 difference between the 5 athletes. So that doesn't give him not big change in the result. We have 2 equal score, 180.
For the next competition shot, low.
And still everything can happen. Who is going to win the gold medal in this final?
Stop.
I'm really curious, because every time they change, they make a good shot and a little bit lower shot. It's something like a roller coaster. And now actually it's between Nicole and Tanguy. Tanguy makes a 10.9. There is no discussion here. And Nicole shoots a 10.7.
Stop.
So the difference between Nicole and Tanguy is shrink to 0.3 points. So it's still possible for Tanguy de la Forest to stay in the final. He knows. But he's out. Sorry, I was looking on the screen. So Nicole is at position 4 with a difference between 3 and 4 with a difference of 0.2. That means he's still able to stay in the final, but that means that one of the other 3 above her has to drop. So still in the final. So now the
For
nerves
the next competition shot, load.
will work. So the loader loads the rifle, close it, and then the athlete starts aiming. And we have less than 1 point difference between 1 and 4. So we have, see, so, 10.7, 10.7, 10.5, and a 10.3 for Nicole Housler. So 1 shot to go, and we know who the medalists are.
10.3 Nicole Housler. She is further on the 4th rank, 0.4 the advantage of the Italian.
The athlete from Serbia, Dragan Restic, is leading, followed by Tim Jeffrey, a difference of 0.5 points. At position 3, Italy, Andrea Liverani, with a difference of 0.4 points. And number 4, Nicole Housler, she had to win over 0.4 points towards the successor, Andrea Liverani. 10.4, 10.1 is not enough for Nicole, so we say goodbye to Nicole Housler from Switzerland with a score of 210.1. She has the 4th place in this final. And the 3 medalists, Serbia, Great Britain, Italy. Everything still can happen because between 1 and 3 we have 1.1 difference. And now the nerves will not be your friend if you're in the firing line. You know what is at the stake, because do you come home with a bronze, silver or gold medal? Depends on the coming 4 shots. And the first elimination is within 2 shots.
For the next competition shot, load.
So, Tim Jeffrey starts aiming.
Start.
Now the audience is really following every second and every score of these athletes.
Stop.
And the differences is not that big. It's only a 10.7, 10.6, 10.7. So that means that so the difference between 1 and 3 has been reduced to 1 point.
For the next competition shot, load.
The Italian
Stop.
athlete. Just gonna shoot the first one. 20 seconds. 10.3, 10.9. Tim Jeffrey. Ah, that's very high. Liverani, 10.7. Now we see a change in the top 3. Now Great Britain, Tim Jeffrey's in the lead, followed by Serbian Dragan Restic with a difference of 0.1 point. And Andrea Liverani has been eliminated because he had the lowest score of the 2. So now we have only 2 shots left. Who's going to be decided? And we have a difference of 0.1 point. So every shot is going to make a decision. So bronze is for Andrea Liverani from Italy.
For the next competition shot, load.
Both athletes are very concentrated to make the final shot. because these shots will give you the advantage or disadvantage. Realistic 10.5, Tim Jeffrey 10.3. So now the Serbian is in the lead. Jeffrey is second with a difference of 0.1. And it can swap back again in a second. The last shot in this final.
Next competition shot, load.
If they end up equal, we have a tie, then we have an additional shot. Let's see what's going to happen.
Start.
But this is the smallest difference you can have in a competition, 0.1 point. Tim Jeffrey, 10.5. What's Ristic? Dragon Ristic is going to do 10.6. I think the results are final with a difference of 0.2 points. The winner is Dragon Ristic from Serbia with a score of 253.9. Second is Tim Jeffrey from Great Britain with a score of 253.7. Third, Andrea Livarani from Italy with a score of 232.2. We have seen a very interesting final. This last final here in Châteauroux, France, World Cup 2022. So now we get the presentation of the finalists to make photos. And at the end of this day we have the medal ceremony and the closing ceremony of this great event. I hope you enjoyed all the finals during this competition. It was a very interesting, long competition here in France in this very beautiful final hall.
Bring these top athletes on their steps of honor. First, we bring them together for the flower ceremony, which will eventually held here.
The jury in charge commands the athletes to come, get in the right position.
Whatever happens, and you see in the faces of the coaches and the athletes.
So we have number 1 Serbia, second Great Britain, third Italy. The congratulations to the athletes, and of course also the coaches are very happy with the results they achieved during this competition here in Châteauroux, France.
And the silver medal goes with a total score of 253.7 points. And representing Great Britain, Tim Jeffrey.
The athletes seems to be very happy with their score. I thank you for watching this stream. Say goodbye and thank you very much. Bye bye.
Representing Serbia, for this grandiose audience. I'm not sure if the WSBS has any time a final like this come back for this great sport here. The award ceremony will held punctually on 18:30 with a little cocktail and many, many good friends. See you later. Thank you.